Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and you're listening to episode 140 of the Boonie Breakdown podcast, your source for all things responsible and ratchet. Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode. I gonna do a solo episode today. It's been about 8 or 9 episodes since we had a solo episode. And so you guys just have me. We have some quality time before the season wraps up. I am super proud of season 7. And I want to thank you guys right now because through a pandemic and all the bullshit that we've been dealing with, that you guys have stayed consistent with listening. I know a lot of podcasts have experienced some very sharp declines in their listenership. And so guys, I've had one of my highest months ever during this situation. And so for that, I want to thank you. Thank you guys for always sharing. I really, really appreciate it. You know, it really warmed my heart to know that I did not have this huge drop off that a lot of podcasters experienced during this time. All right, so we're going to do what I call one of my 5 spots, my 5 thoughts. Most of them are focused around some tangible things that I have done to process with, you know, the race relations and the protest and everything that's just been happening recently. So that's kind of what I get into. So, you know, I'm skipping pick of the week. You know, I don't do pick of the week when I do a solo episode. So we're just going to hop right into the housekeeping. All right, housekeeping for this episode. The feedback from episode 139, you know, I got a message and it's not, you know, I appreciate when you guys tell me, you know, I don't quite see it with you. I'm not eye to eye with you, Boonie. And so I love that. And I got a message this week said, Boonie, I was actually shocked by your comment. I can't believe that you said you don't see that anything is ever going to change. You must not give up hope. We have to stay consistent in this fight if we're ever going to get change. So to that, I just want to say, you know, thank you for your comment. And that wasn't me trying to change anyone's mind. I really don't. It sucks. Like I said in that episode, it's a very hard pill to swallow. And it's not that I'm like, oh, it can't ever. I'm just saying I don't see it. I don't see why the oppressor would give up power, right? And for all of everything that we're fighting for, some of these changes could be so easy, but they choose not to do it. And so I appreciate some criticisms, and I will try to keep the hope. I will always support the people who want to protest, etc., etc. But thank you for your comment. I also got another comment. Only Boonie and KG could give us an episode that was insightful yet light and funny with all that was going on. At first, I was scared to listen because like, ugh, not another one of these. But you guys really made it funny. I appreciate all the laughs and the lightness of that episode. Thanks, guys. So there you go, the feedback from episode 139. So if you have not listened, I need you to go circle back and listen. It's still relevant. All right. And after this episode, there are 5 episodes left in season 7. That is it. We only have 5 new episodes, guys. And we're wrapping up. The last new episode airs July 13th. All right. So mark your calendars. And I'm going to start now. If you have topics, guest suggestions for season 8, please let me know because that'll start up in September. So yeah, I'm going to take that now because I can start asking people now. And I got to thank you guys. You guys know I was on the hunt to have 100 5-star podcast reviews in Apple Podcasts. We are so close. Only 11 more are needed to get to 100. And I have to read this one that was sent by Just Like Disney World. 5 stars, Ratcheteer 100. I truly enjoy listening to your podcast weekly. When I met you and saw your shirt, Responsible and Ratchet, I was like, I love this. She speaks my language. That was 2 years ago, and I've been an avid listener ever since. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Love it. Very simple. And if you would like to leave a 5-star review, I only need 11 more. If you listen on any Apple device, iPad, iPod, iPhone, MacBook, whatever it is you listen to, you just have to search the Boonie Breakdown in that app, scroll down, click write a review, tap those 5 stars, hit submit. That's it. It's 5 steps for 5 stars. We only need 11 more to get to 100. If we can do that by the end of the season, that would be fucking phenomenal. And I will love you guys long time. All right. And you can hear your review on the next episode. All right. So just go ahead and do it. And if you are not following us on social, please be sure to do that now too. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Boonie Breakdown. You can follow us on Twitter just at Boonie Breakdown. All right. And when sharing this episode, please use the hashtag The Boonie Breakdown and the hashtag PodNPODIN. Share it in your Insta stories. Put it on your Twitter. Put it on your Pinterest. Put it on your Facebook page. Let the world know that this is one of your favorite podcasts, okay? I appreciate it every time you share, because that is how I grow and get new listeners. So thank you guys so very much. And that is it. So we're just gonna shut the fuck up now and let's get ready to break it down. All right, guys, so let's get into this episode. First, I really want to also give feedback onto another episode. Episode 138. I feel like a lot of you guys were listening to that episode last week as well. You were catching up on some of your podcasts, and I got some really thoughtful messages about episode 138, which was periods and fertility awareness with Lisa Henriksen Jack. And some of your messages really floored me. And someone sent me a message and said, okay, girl, I just finally caught up on this episode like halfway through, and I texted it to 3 Black women I know, needed to hear it, and I wasn't even done listening. Thank you for real. It was healing to hear this interview. It affirmed for me things that I had been gaslit about, both from doctors and partners. Like, I know my body, and it's your job, doctors and partners, to support me in this journey in figuring out what the best course of action in birth control, fertility, sex, libido, frequency, etc. I was legit crying listening, because no one tells us these things. And the only time we find out is when we experience mistreatment and illness with our bodies and seek answers. And I just responded back like, that is a whole fucking word. And it was a lot to process that episode, because I got about 4 messages all echoing that same sentiment about how these are things I didn't know. I didn't know tampons leave things in me. I didn't know that, when Lisa was talking about birth control affecting your libido. And I got one message from one Black woman saying, I was with a partner and I was extremely attracted to him, but I had no desire to want to fuck him. Never thought it possibly could be the birth control, ever. And said she mentioned these things to the doctor, and the doctor never once said, hey, maybe we should take you off birth control. And so, those kind of messages really mean a lot to me. Especially because I know everyone loves the ratchet content. Everyone loves it. But when I can do a responsible episode as well, that is impactful, and you guys really learn something, or it is affirmative for you, or it's the signal like, oh my God, I wasn't crazy. These doctors just don't fucking listen. That means the world to me. I got another message. It was so informative. I was nervous about the cup, but oblivious to the harms tampons and pads can do to our body. A ton of amazing information in a brief, digestible bit. I love it. And so, I couldn't ask for more better feedback than what you guys sent me. And so I know I rarely do this, but if you are a Black woman, even if you're not a Black woman and you listen, or even if you're a man and you're listening to this and you are in heterosexual relationships, I really encourage you, or even to just think about, other women in your life, that you might learn something to know all the things that women have to go through in our bodies with these hormones and cycles and fertility. She even talks about, the role that guys play in fertility, etc. So it really is a dope episode. When I do dope shit, I say it. So I'm going to clap for myself on that episode because it really, really is a good one. So again, episode 138, periods and fertility awareness. Run it back if you just skipped it. Like, I don't even know nothing about my period. Run it back. Listen to it. I'm telling you, I had my period now. 21 years now. And I still learned something like, oh shit, I didn't even know that. So check it out. And I just want to thank you guys all for that amazing feedback. It meant a lot. It really did. All right, we're going to switch it up now. I know sometimes I don't like to complain or feel helpless, and I try to always be proactive as much as I can for certain things. And you guys know, going around the internet this past week, and I loved it. It's great. I love all these resources. There were 11 million Black-owned businesses, infographics, sites, whatever, in the most smallest categories. Like, I even found out a Black-owned paint company. Had no idea. So I'm thankful for these resources. But I think it is something to it when it's more than just sharing, right? It's wonderful to educate and build awareness for these brands. But if we are not out here proactively supporting our Black businesses and referring people to them, and giving them grace sometimes, especially during this time where a lot of people are short-staffed, one, because if you have a small business that has employees, and depending on where you're working, you might not be able to operate at full capacity. So the orders might be delayed. I know even for myself, and thank you guys who've ordered merch and it's been really slow, but because the place that I use to print, they're down to a small staff that they can't get the orders out as fast as they normally do. And so just think about these things right now in this time as we're publicizing and sharing Black businesses. But as you're proactively trying to support them, please give a little grace, okay? It's a way you can give constructive feedback in a way that people can be receptive to it, and it is actionable enough for them to make the changes, all right? And so I encourage all of you, we've been about that life here at the Boonie Breakdown. I have my, every Black Friday, I put out a Black Friday list. I've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years now, so this is not new. I try to always share in my Insta story Black businesses that I support, so do what you can. If you see these resources, share them. But it takes more than a share. If you can throw $20 at least to some of these businesses, a lot of restaurants get a meal. It goes a long way. So just be proactive in our support. And speaking of being proactive, my next thing, number 3 in the 5 spot is along with another young Black entrepreneur in Baltimore, Tashia of the Sneaker Exhibit, we are hosting the Juneteenth Jubilee. This will be taking place on Friday, June 19th in Baltimore. The details will be announced this week, but it will be a small business crawl, both brick and mortar and a digital one, okay? So these are for all Black-owned businesses based in Baltimore. I know I just want to kind of gauge some expectation there. Because of COVID-19, the Rona's still here, y'all. The Rona ain't gone. But some businesses, especially in Baltimore City and Baltimore County, they're still under certain restrictions, even though most of the state is open. And so it might not be as many brick and mortar places as we were hoping to have in this first iteration. But really, really want you guys to try to come out and support. The details will drop this week, but this is a way Tashia and I want to encourage people to be proactive in our support of Black businesses. All right, so that is number 3. Number 4. Black-owned banks. I got a lot of messages about this week, which is odd enough. And again, because Boonie been about this life here, okay, I have bank accounts at 2 Black banks, And I did a Black Bank Challenge back in 2016. If you head on over to the booniebreakdown.com on the main page, it's a search bar. You could type it in there. You could also Google Black-owned banks, and many resources come up. Probably some that are more up to date than my one from 2016, which makes me kind of want to maybe update it. I don't know. We'll see. But I encourage you all, if you have a business account, you have a business, a side business, open your business bank accounts at your at a Black bank. It's one thing with spending money at Black businesses, but how more powerful is it if you're investing your money and you have savings accounts and you're giving Black banks capital to lend out money to small businesses, Black-owned businesses? Because traditional banks do not, we already know they do not approve loans for Black businesses at the same rate they do other businesses. We just saw coming out of the COVID, majority of the minority-owned businesses who applied for these loans through Small Business Administration were denied. So another way to mobilize and empower your Black dollar is to put your Black dollar at a Black bank. So there's even one Black bank that is mostly online. They do have physical locations in several cities around the country, but I believe it's One United. You probably remember them from the Harriet Tubman debit card situation. But yes, that bank, they are online. Just send $50 a paycheck, $20 a paycheck to that bank account. Let it sit there. Don't even touch it. Just let it grow. Put your rainy day fund there, but put some money into a Black bank if at all possible. All right, my last point for this week's episode, this week's 5 spot. I had I can't even put it into words, a phenomenal experience today. I was able to go to a event hosted by a longtime, lifelong friend, known her since we were in 6th grade. She's dope. And I will say, ahead of her time. She hosted, along with, I believe, 3 other women were the leads on this event. And it was Say Her Name. They wanted to disrupt, elevate, and honor. And what they were doing, it was an effort to honor the Black women, girls, and femmes who had fallen victim to state-sanctioned violence. And they did an afternoon of offerings, ancestral rituals. It was some spoken word. It was very moving, very powerful. And they asked that everyone bring, some offering. You could bring something sweet for the altar, flowers. I brought a few dozen flowers to the event for the offering. And I have to say, that it was profound, because the site that I was at, so first of all, they chose 3 different sites throughout the city where it was gathering. So these 3 different movements were happening at the same time. I could have gone to another one because it was kind of close in distance, but I just went to the one location, and that location was actually on the site of a former Confederate statue that was in a park in Baltimore. The statue was removed, so it's just the base was there, and that base was turned into an altar to uplift the Black women, femmes, and girls who were killed by the police or state-sanctioned violence. And it truly was powerful. They used a hoodoo-based ancestral tradition to build this altar. They were dressed in white. They cleaned the base of the statue and the grounds around the statue. Each person who, while they're cleaning the space, each person who attended, we had to cleanse ourselves. And so we were cleansed in Florida water and had to, remove the energy off our bodies before we entered that sacred space. And it was truly powerful. The ancestors showed up, y'all. And I just felt like I'm going to post a picture of the altar on my Instagram, the Boonie Breakdown on Instagram, so you guys can see it. But what I took from this was, and I say this too in my own practice and meditation and rituals that I do, is that our power, there's power in your words, right? And at the event, it was mentioned that at all of these protests that are happening around the country, people are chanting, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." And there's truly power in our words. And so for having these massive crowds continuously, proclaiming and putting into the atmosphere, "I can't breathe," that's not the energy and space that we need in this movement as we progress. And one of the things that we had to do at this ritual while the altar was being built or after it was built was that collectively, we did a breathing exercise together. And so I want to encourage all of you too to take some deep breaths, and to use the words of the organizer, Alexis. She said that we have to breathe for our sisters who can't breathe anymore, who aren't here to breathe anymore. And so to stop saying, "I can't breathe," stop uttering their last words. There is true power in words. And so to continue to breathe for them. Don't utter those words again. And so if you need to right now, there are several breathing techniques you can do, but you can take a deep breath in through your nostrils and exhale through your mouth. So I encourage you all to do some breathing exercises this week. It was such a simple task, so simple, but it was so profound because there are so many of our brothers and sisters who aren't here to breathe anymore. And so that is what I want to leave you with. Be very cognizant of what you're ingesting and what you're putting back out into the universe. Because I know it's so much right now. I have had to, I was posting on my page and it's not that I'm not aware of what's happening and I don't want to focus on all that's happening. But I know I'm someone that after a while, it's so much. It beats you on the brow. It's so much that I need a break. I need some lightness. I need to laugh. I need to see joy. I think someone posted on Instagram, it was just a thread of Black people laughing. I saw another thread that was so fucking funny. It was like contemporary niggertry. And it was just Black people acting a fool. And it was fucking amazing. And I loved it. I really did. I really, really loved it. And so for me, if you might not see me posting as much. But please know it's not because I don't care or I'm not invested. But I just cannot continuously ingesting and sharing and re-traumatizing people with sharing our trauma. I just can't. I can't do it. So I ask that you all give me grace there. And there are so many other sources and sites and pages that you can go to that are sharing that information. If that's what you need and that's what you want, then feel free to go there. Please do. But just know, I'm going to be sharing more uplifting, positive affirmation work for our community. And if you have not given to any of these Black community-based organizations or some type of community organization, not Black nonprofit, especially something on the local level. We know all of these national organizations are getting a huge influx of money from all of the brands who are trying to buy off our guilt, or buy off their guilt and make themselves feel better. That truly giving to a local organization will make a world of difference to them. Really, really will. So that is my charge to all of you. And yeah, I just keep breathing and just really watch the words that we're putting and intentions that we're setting that we don't even know. It's so much power in words, so much power in words. And if you do not believe that, you do not believe it's power in words, you need to go back and listen to episode 125 of this season with Danny Faust. And we talked all about words and the power of manifestation. You better believe it. It is so much power in your voice. So much power in your voice. So, all right, guys. I think that's it for me. But I do want, I don't want you to feel guilty that you have to turn away or you can't watch this anymore. You can't read anything else anymore. Don't feel guilty at all. Protect yourself. Protect your peace. If it takes turning off, like the other night, I fucking watched Clueless and Joanna, man, because I just could not. And for me, I don't like to watch new things because during these times, I can't handle sometimes watching something new and the anxiety, and I get anxious about what's going to happen because I'm already anxious about what's happening in the world. So for me, when I need to be comforted, I go and I listen to or watch things that are familiar, things that I know. I'm going to watch Martin. I'm going to watch Clueless because I know it's exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to watch Sex and the City. It's nothing. It's no surprises. No surprises. So know your triggers, know what it takes and the things that you can do to bring yourself back to yourself. All right, guys. So that is it for me. And if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or any app that you listen to your favorite podcasts on. Don't forget to leave those reviews too. We need 11 more, guys, 11 more. And you can hear your review on the next episode. Follow us on all social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. I don't make these pretty images for nothing, okay? Have a dope ass week. Stay healthy, safe, and sane. Thank you for listening. And remember, the ratchet in me always honors the ratchet in you. Until next time.